my fellow comic book collectors, it's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is part 9 of this unboxing, and we got this pile of stuff to go through. Should be a pretty good lot. I'm not sure what's in it, to tell you the truth, but I know there's probably some cool stuff in here. The first one I do know, this is a really cool book. This is Battlestar Galactica, and just the first appearance of Battlestar Galactica. Kind of a cool book. It's one of these larger ones. You can see, like, when you compare it to a regular size comic, you can see it's much bigger. But it's, in full Marvel color, not just regular color, Marvel color. So that's extra special. Just a cool book. Not expensive. This, considering it's the first appearance of Battlestar Galactica, it's way underrated. It's not obvious, like a lot of people would say, oh, it's not the first comic book appearance, but it's still a book that's a comic in large format. Just kind of a cool one. So this is Marvel Super Special Marvel Comics Super Special number 8. So that's a cool one. And this next one is just an interesting one. It's Keen Teens, and they put this silly sticker on the top of it, but oh well. It's like, I just thought it was kind of a cute cover. It's a Golden Age book from 1946, and it also has a clairvoyant story inside as well, which is interesting. So yeah, so Keen Teens. I just thought it was a cool cover. Like, sometimes when you're on eBay, one of the things that they'll do is they'll show other things that you might be interested in, and then I'll get sucked in and I'll buy some silly comic. Oh, this is that silly comic that I bought. I thought it was a cute cover, so I kind of went with it. And it's Keen Teens number 1. Okay, so next one is one that's actually really under the radar, and I collect LB Cole, and this book is totally under the radar for LB Cole collectors. And it's one that actually you might not even realize is an LB Cole, because it's, it's a modern book, modern-ish book. I think it's Copper Age. But it's Dread of Night. And this is an LB Cole cover. It even says, where does it say? Right there, you can see LB Cole. And this is actually LB Cole's very last cover. And that makes it cool in my mind. I always like to have those bookends, like, the first appearance of an artist and the last appearance of an artist. And this is the last appearance of LB Cole, and he did the cover for this one. So yeah, just a really cool one. If you're familiar with LB Cole, you'll recognize this face. Not that LB Cole looks like that, but he would draw this skull on a few other covers. One of his classic covers is a Weird Tales that uses this skull. And this frog, actually, I've seen him use before as well, strangely enough. There's some of his children. He did a bunch of classics, children's classic, or children's illustrated. And they were like classic stories, and he used this frog before. I've seen it before. So just a cool book, though. Not one that most people would even know is an LB Cole, but it is a cool book. And yeah, Monsters Stalk, Fears Emerge. This is LB Cole's very last comic book appearance in terms of the artwork. This next one, I think it was a mistake that I bought this, but it's still a cool cover, and it was very affordable. And what happened was, I was talking to my friend, he goes by the handle Knives, but his name is Ricky, and we look at auctions together sometimes, and we were talking about different characters and where they made their first appearances. And one that he mentioned to me, and I think he was wrong. I think he was wrong after the fact. We kind of debated on it. We think that he might be wrong on it, but you never know. It could be right. Is Lucille Ball. Okay? I mean, I have Lucille Ball's comic book appearance in I Love Lucy. That's where she made, like, I Love Lucy made her first appearance in I Love Lucy #1. But this is an earlier magazine that kind of might have her first appearance as a movie star. And it is Film Fun. And I'm not sure. We were kind of debating about it afterwards. He thought it was on the listing, that when he saw it, the original listing, that he saw that it said first appearance of Lucille Ball. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's true. I did look through earlier Film Funds to see if she had made an earlier appearance. It did not seem to be the case. But there could have been other magazines that had her as well. So this is pretty early on. She was pretty young when this came out. This is from, I believe, like 1930 something. I want to say like 1931, 1933 era. And it's like, yeah, but it's a great cover. So regardless, I was like, it wasn't even that expensive. It was like under $20. So I was like, for a great cover, $20, I can't really pass on it. So and if it is her first appearance, that'd be extra cool. I just thought it was a great cover too. Okay. This next one, I was showing a collection that I've been picking up recently, called Wicked Love. And basically it's like reprinting Golden Age books. And or sometimes it reprints like Silver Age and up to even Bronze Age comics. But they would pick like cool covers. And so I'm one of those people that likes to have the original. I don't really like reprints. Even though I thought it was cool that this comic series did that. I wanted to get the original. So this is one of the original covers. This is Romantic Adventures, number, like, I forget what number it is actually. 106. Yeah, 106 from ACG. Now this is a Silver Age book, but it has a really cool cover. The interesting thing is when you actually read the story, inside she's blonde. I don't know why she's a redhead on the cover, but inside she's blonde. I don't know why. I thought it was a cute cover though. Kind of reminds me of Flintstones, strangely, as if, if you ever had sort of like the live action version of the Flintstones, I feel like this would be like Bebel and Bam Bam kind of kind of situation. But yeah, so when Pebbles was a teenager, I should say, not when she was a baby, obviously. But yeah, so it's the female of the species. Want to learn the strange secrets of a woman's heart? Read Female of the Species. So kind of fun one. Thought it was cute. Okay, this next one arrived without bag and board, but it is a cool one. And this is another one where I actually have a reprint where they kind of use the same cover. I think it was used in Popeye Classics, or Classic Popeye. I think it's called Classic Popeye, I should say. And they reused this cover, and I thought, oh, that's a really cool cover. I'd like to have the original. I'm that kind of person. And it's this one, where, it's Popeye. This is Del something or other. I forgot what the issue is, but it's just a really cute one, where you got Popeye dressed as a can of spinach, and you got Olive Oyl dressed like Olive Oyl, which is kind of fun. So I just really like that. I thought it was a really cute cover, kind of fun. Something about it is really fun. Now this one's not a really high grade or anything. It presents reasonably well. Could use a bit of a press. It's got a bit of a split spine down here, but it's a Bob Sagendorf cover, so kind of cool. And yeah, you can see. I'll show you the inside since it's open. Might as well show the inside. It's cute stuff, cool stuff. And yeah, I thought it was just a cool cover. But I like Popeye. Getting more and more into Popeye. Okay, this next one is an interesting one. This is one of those ones where I collect Seduction of the Innocent. And Seduction of the Innocent is one of those things where when they originally published it, there was an appendices at the end. And the appendices would kind of give credit to each of the publishers that were mentioned inside of the Seduction of the Innocent. Now, sometimes it was vague about which publishers or which comics were being cited. but it had a lot of them. Now, when they actually released The Seduction of the Innocent, they actually cut out that appendices. Okay, so if you like, I have a first edition of Seduction of the Innocent, and you can actually see that it's been cut. And they literally cut the book. So every copy of Seduction of the Innocent is actually an incomplete copy, because from the publisher they actually cut out that appendices because they didn't want to get sued by all the publishers. Now, there were a few copies that managed to slip by and went out with the appendices, but for the most part they weren't. Well, there was a couple things that happened as a result of all that. A lot of the books that were cited, people are not sure about. Was it this book or was it this book? And this is one of those cases where I have a comic that they think could have been the one that's cited, but they're not sure. There was two books that kind of they both have kind of similar images, and it could be this one or it could be the other one that was the one cited. And the citation was a woman on a horse with a noose around her neck, and that was the citation. So this is the Lone Rider. And you can see that there's a woman with a noose around her neck on a horse, and that's what the citation mentioned. Now, there's another book which was from Fiction House that also had similar things, where it's actually a really great cover where she's much more zoomed in, and the guy's actually whipping the horse, so it's going to run off and she'll break her neck. This has kind of similar feel, so it's not sure if it's this one or the other one that's the one that was mentioned. But this is still a cool book. Very unusual cover. So that's The Lone Rider. I forgot what issue number it is. I think it's like number 4 or something like that. I feel like that's the right number. But yeah. But that would be from, I believe it's from Fawcett, because Golden Arrow, I think, is a yeah. No, it's, oh, sorry, not Fawcett. It's Farrell. It says right there. So it's not Fawcett, it's Farrell. Okay. And this next one, I've been picking these up. I don't know why. I think these are interesting. These heroic ones. I thought this one was kind of interesting. There's, for some reason, a bunch of these heroic covers have this little girl on it. And for some reason, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I have to collect all these ones with this little girl that's getting like either like run over or drowned, or something bad is happening to her. One is like she's on a railroad tracks and gonna get hit by a train. I just feel like it's kind of a weird collection that I'm working on, where it looks like the same little girl and something always bad is happening to her. And she's on like a bunch of the covers, and it's always these kind of painted covers. So I just think they're interesting. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. I just think it's it's weird how this little girl's always getting abused. Now the stories inside are actually about people performing heroic acts and putting their lives at risk in behalf of other people, to protect other people. Now you can see, even in the situation, you get this truck and the guy's about to get run over by the truck in order to try to save the girl. So he's like pushing her out of the way, basically. So just kind of a cool series, very inexpensive. These go for like anywhere from $5 to $20 kind of level. They're not expensive. I've even seen high grades go for like $100 and graded. Not an expensive series. But they have some pretty cool covers, especially if you like little blonde girls getting run over by various vehicles. So yeah, that's fun. I don't know. I think it's fun. Okay, this next one is an interesting one. And this is maybe underrated, or really under the radar key. And I'm always about, I mentioned that I like my first appearances. I love my first appearances. And this is kind of a cool first appearance. Now I got to check it. I'm going to actually check it live with you guys to see if it is actually what it says it is. It's Madonna. We got Rock and Roll Comic Madonna. Okay. Now you think, oh, is it the first appearance of Madonna? No, it's not. Well, what could be the first appearance? Well, from what I've been told, this is the first appearance of The Simpsons. So let's find out if that's actually true. We're going to open it up and find out. That's the kind of thing I do and they baked and boarded it wrong. It's backwards. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, it's always fun. I'm gonna give it a board afterwards. Okay. And this is Rock and Roll Comics number 17. And somewhere in here, oh wow, it actually looks like Cherry Pop-Tart. Okay, a bunch of, like, kind of looks a little bit like Cherry Pop-Tart, that girl right there. But let me just flip through it a bit. I think this was unauthorized, so it's kind of one of those semi-first appearances where, because it's unauthorized, it's not considered a true first appearance. Let me see if I can find it. So I always love doing this live, and then I'm like flipping through a book, and like you guys are like, why is he taking so long to find the thing? I don't even know where it is. You know, I always like doing this like live, because then you get the real feel of me like trying to find it. Oh my goodness, I found it. There we go. The Simpsons. And this book was published before Simpsons 1, you know, or Bart 1 or whatever is the first appearance of the Simpsons. So isn't that cool? So yeah. So first appearance of the Simpsons. Can you believe it's in Madonna? Rock and Roll Comics number 17. Isn't that odd? So yeah, I thought that was a cool first appearance that you would never expect. Now, obviously, even, you know, the way that people do first appearances, they would always say, oh, that's a cameo or something silly, or that's not an authorized first appearance. But it is the first time that you see them in a comic. So in my mind, it's a first appearance. So Madonna, look for the Madonna one, and then it's Rock and Roll 17. Now, when I got this one, it also came with an extra comic, and it is the actual Madonna number 1. So this is like, Madonna was always like really into the sex part of the putting out sexy videos and sexy on stage shows. And I remember this one where she actually like just put tape on her nipples and basically performed live like that. So yeah. I think she still tries to do that now, which is a bit more disturbing. She's really old. But yeah, we got Madonna number 1. Okay, they both came together, and the funny thing is they knew that this was a Madonna comic, but they didn't realize there was that extra Simpsons element to it. Okay, so this next one is one I actually had on one of my hot lists, and like when I do my hot lists, it's really dangerous for me in a way. Because when I do these hot lists, I FOMO myself. I'm like, oh, that's a really cool comic. I really, I feel like I have to go out and get it. So this one was one that I do like, and it's a Brenda Starr, reporter number 1. Now, Brenda Starr is actually a Golden Age character, but this was her first comic from the Silver Age. So Brenda Starr, reporter number 1. I thought it was a cool cover. It kind of looks like Nick Fury, like Nick Fury, and I just thought it was kind of funny. So he's got like the eye patch and stuff. You can see that, but yeah, he looks like Nick Fury. So I thought it was kind of cool. So yeah, so that's Brenda Starr, reporter number 1. And there was a huge sale actually on when it was on my list. I was like shocked by how much. I think it was like $1,400 or something for a high grade copy of that book. Now this one obviously wasn't that expensive. It's a lower grade. It's probably like a 4 or 5, but you know, it was much cheaper. much cheaper. More like $30, $20-$30 kind of. Okay. So this next one is something. We're going to find out what it is. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, this one's a good one. Okay. Again, why do they keep on... Oh, okay. So you got to take it out. It's the way they have it. Okay, I can use this for something else. Okay, so we got this one. This was a hot cover for a while. And actually, it's... so I missed out on it from my local comic shop, I thought. So the funny thing is I bought this online on eBay, and I got it for 20 bucks. So I thought, man, that's a reasonable price. It was one of those ones, I think it was like 1 in 10 or 1 in 25 or something like that. So but it was a really great cover. I forgot who did it. I can't read the name. If you guys know the signature, you can tell me in the comments. But I thought it was really well done. Hey, it might say actually. A variant cover by, oof, they're really trying to test my Lazaro. I think it's Lazaro. But I thought it was really great, really cute Supergirl. And so yeah, so I basically bought this online. And then when I got to my local comic shop, they actually had 3 copies of it. But they wanted like 40 bucks each. So it was actually cheaper for me to buy it online than it was to buy it locally. So it worked out, actually. I thought it was a really great cover. Okay. So this next one is one that I was really excited to get. I just think this is a great cover. And it's a Vault of Horror. It's a Vault of Horror number 19. And this is just such a great cover. I like this because I was a big fan of The Return of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead. And if you watch the original Night of the Living Dead, there's a scene where they're in the graveyard and the zombies kind of getting them. I'm going to get them. This kind of reminds me of that. I know it's a man and a girl in the actual movie, and it's in black and white, but this kind of reminds me of that scene. I don't know why. I just think it's interesting where you got the girl sort of, sad about probably losing her husband. Oh, Ralph, I miss you so. Why did you have to die? If only you could come back to me. And Ralph's coming back to her, see? It's very romantic. This is a nice Johnny Craig cover. I just think it's a really cool one. I just really like it. And it was actually on one of my hot lists once, too. So that was another thing. Another FOMO effect. It's a really cool book, though. And next one. So we started out with a really big book that was like Battlestar Galactica. Well, another series that also made its first appearance in magazine format was Indiana Jones. And this is another Marvel special magazine. And it's Raiders of the Lost Ark. And this is the first appearance of Indiana Jones. And all the characters associated to Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, really cool one. This is Marvel Comics Super Special number 18. So, that Marvel Comics Super Specials had a lot of key first appearances. So, I just showed 2 of them. So, yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's a fun one. I really liked Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's probably one of those movies that I've watched many, many times, and I've really enjoyed it consistently. And it's not like one of those movies where you watch it as a kid and you really liked it as a kid, and then later on you watch it again, like, oh, why did I like that? It was one that I think is, stands the test of time and just is a great, great movie. I wish they would make more movies of this caliber. Not the same movie, but of this caliber. I just think it was really well done. Great movie. Okay, and we got one little last packet of comics. Actually, kind of running long. Okay, we've got to speed things up a bit here. Oh, wow, okay. So these are all auction wins. These are all from that My Comics Shop auction wins. And these are all really cool books. I'll show them because they are pretty cool. So we're going to start with Little Abner. And this is sometimes listed as Little Abner's first appearance, but it technically isn't. But it is Little Abner number 1. This is single series number 4. And it's the first titled comic for Little Abner. It's a really cool book. 64 pages in full color. It's really cool. Little Abner number 1. Or single series number 4. Whatever way you want to go with it. But a cool book. Definitely a cool book. This next one, I may be overpaid. I have no idea. This is one that is, you don't know how much the value is. It's whatever somebody's willing to pay, I guess, at the end of the day. There's no history to it. There's no sales history, and there's no census. But it was just, I thought it was a cool cover. So I paid up a bit for it. I think I paid like $80, so, which may have been high. I have no idea. It's a little rough, but I thought it was a cool cover. So it's called Blackouts, and it's like Broadway Hollywood Blackouts. And it's just like, it has a little comic thing on the front. You say you're going to marry an old millionaire, and you expect me to believe it's a love match? But it is, the other girl says. I love money. So I think that's really cute. You know, she's a gold digger, but she's at least happy that she's a gold digger, so it's kind of cute. So yeah. So there's no business like the show business. It's really cool. So this is Hollywood Blackouts number 3 from 1954. I thought it was a fun one. And this last one was another auction I won. It wasn't, actually this one was fairly inexpensive. It's like $30 or something like that. This is Operation Peril. And I have a few of these in my collection because they have some pretty cool Good Girl art covers. This is Operation Peril number 9. And it's got this weird beak-like monster on it. Space monster. And then you got the girl and the guy in this bubble spaceship. So I thought it was kind of fun. So Operation Peril. And it's Danny Danger, the time traveler's Typhoon Tyler, in the spine-tingling action thrillers. I don't know. But I thought it would look cool. It was inexpensive. And I'm getting various comics from this series. This is from ACG. Just a cool one. Okay, and that's it for this part. A little bit longer than I expected, but and we still have 4 more parts to go. So stay tuned. Some really cool books are coming. So I hope you enjoyed this part. Thanks again for watching. Bye.